Elbridge Colby, President Trump's nominee for Undersecretary of Defense for Policy, the third highest position at the Pentagon, has cast a shadow of doubt over the ambitious AUKUS submarine deal. While acknowledging Australia as a core ally, even supporting them in less advisable wars, Colby voiced serious concerns about the potential ramifications of supplying Virginia-class submarines to our Australian partners. His skepticism, openly expressed in Senate Armed Services Committee hearings, centers on a critical vulnerability: the depletion of the U.S. Navy's already strained submarine fleet. Colby's apprehension isn't born of anti-ally sentiment. Rather, it stems from a stark assessment of the U.S. Navy's current predicament. The U.S. submarine fleet currently operates at a quarter below its target strength, a shortfall exacerbated by a production rate only half the required pace to meet its own operational needs, let alone fulfill AUKUS commitments. Experts paint a grim picture, deeming the prospect of rectifying this deficit vanishingly small. A February 11th Congressional Research Service report underscores this critical vulnerability, highlighting the persistently sluggish submarine construction rate. The Navy aims for a 66 attack submarine fleet, but currently possesses only 49. The report emphasizes the need to build 2.3 submarines annually to satisfy U.S. requirements, a rate drastically exceeding the current average of 1.2 submarines per year since 2022. Colby's testimony underscored the inherent risk of diverting vital assets to Australia. His concern isn't about the principle of bolstering an ally. He explicitly supports the idea of empowering our Australian allies. Instead, his anxiety focuses on the practical consequences. In his words, transferring Virginia-class submarines to Australia risks leaving U.S. sailors vulnerable due to the diminished capacity of the U.S. Navy to maintain adequate strategic presence and respond effectively to global threats. The core issue is simple: fewer submarines, strategically positioned to safeguard U.S. interests, means reduced operational readiness and potential exposure to unforeseen challenges. His concerns are not entirely new. Last August, Colby tweeted, expressing his skepticism about the practical implications of AUKUS. While acknowledging the great idea in principle, he remained apprehensive, stating, "It would be crazy to have fewer SSN's Virginia-class attack submarines in the right place and time." This sentiment highlights a critical strategic dilemma: the tension between supporting an ally and preserving the operational integrity of the U.S. Navy. The implications extend beyond simple numbers. The lack of submarines directly impacts the U.S. Navy's ability to project power, conduct surveillance, and deter potential adversaries. Every submarine diverted weakens the overall defensive posture of the United States, leaving critical gaps in global strategic reach. This potential strategic vulnerability forms the bedrock of Colby's concern, urging a careful consideration of the long-term ramifications of AUKUS before proceeding. Colby's testimony also touched upon the broader issue of Australian defense spending, urging them to increase their defense budget to 3% of GDP. This recommendation underscores a belief that Australia should shoulder a greater responsibility for its own defense capabilities, reducing the pressure on the already strained resources of the U.S. Navy. This call for increased Australian investment is not merely a financial matter. It's a strategic imperative designed to mitigate the risks associated with the AUKUS agreement. The AUKUS deal represents a monumental undertaking with far-reaching consequences. While intended to strengthen the U.S.-Australia alliance and deter regional aggression, Colby's testimony serves as a potent reminder of the intricate challenges and potential vulnerabilities inherent in such ambitious initiatives. The debate extends far beyond the technical aspects of submarine production. It probes the core of strategic resource allocation and the delicate balance between Allied support and national security interests. The critical question remains: can the U.S. afford to deplete its own submarine fleet to arm an ally, even a crucial one, without significantly compromising its own strategic capabilities and potentially exposing its sailors to increased risk? Colby's testimony makes it clear that he believes the answer is no, at least not without significant changes and considerations. The AUKUS deal, therefore, requires more than just enthusiasm. It demands a meticulous assessment of its strategic implications and a robust plan to ensure the U.S. Navy retains the necessary strength and capacity to effectively fulfill its global responsibilities. The ongoing debate surrounding AUKUS reveals the complexities of modern alliances and the critical need for comprehensive strategic planning in an increasingly volatile geopolitical landscape.